everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Over the Curb podcast, a Formula One podcast for fans old and new by Formula One fans old and new. Joining me today is once again Shakuni and a heartbroken Hari Badger. Hey guys, what's up?
Hello. Hello.
Heartbroken is an understatement.
Heartbroken is an
I am
understatement.
heartbroken. The last two laps were very bad for me. Sorry.
Yeah, same. I mean, being a Mercedes fan, heartbreaking the last two laps, but overall, I feel very good. Like it seems like Mercedes has found its space, but we are getting ahead of ourselves.
See, apart from Mercedes has found its space, I loved it when in the middle of the race, there were 15-20 laps were done. And then there was this young chap who just got a really good car to drive and was making the current champion toy around to just overtake. It was so fun to watch. I loved every second of it. I was enjoying that for 5-6 laps. Russell did that.
I think
more than that.
More
than that, right?
But
so
okay,
I'm counting the 5-6 laps with the DRS. Because the rest were without DRS. So
Without
for that,
DRS,
I cannot give the credit to Russell. But 5 to 6 times Verstappen tried with DRS. And still, in a better car with a better straight line speed, still, wow, I am.
Okay. We are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start from the very beginning. I think pretty normal practice sessions, except the porpoising was gone. It's just magically gone for every team. No bouncing.
Any news regarding that? Any tech news regarding that? Has any team released?
None that I have heard, but from what little I know is that, of course, Mercedes has brought in a lot of upgrades for this weekend, and those seem to have played a part in reducing their porpoising. They did bring a new floor, and I think Lewis Hamilton and George both took a new ice. And Hamilton also took a new gearbox. So maybe that also contributed. As to why the porpoising disappeared for everybody, I think it's more of a track thing. So I guess we'll find out in Baku. I don't think Monaco will also give us, because there are no straights. But Mercedes, there is a little bit of porpoising in corners still for Mercedes, but it's not as bad as what we've seen in the last couple of races.
But even in Miami, there was not a lot of porpoising, right?
Yeah, not a lot of porpoising, but they didn't have any pace, much of a pace.
Yeah. But I think the new ice gave them the pace, and by Miami, they figured a little about the porpoising. So I think those combined helped them a lot.
I think Haas is the only team without upgrades this weekend, right?
Yeah.
But considering the fact that they don't have any upgrades, Mick was running higher in the initial part of the race. He was running
Mick and
7th or 8th.
So Mick and K-Mac both had a good race, but then after the accident, I don't know what happened to K-Mac. He just wasn't competing as such. He was just doing when people went into pits, he was getting ahead. He was letting them overtake easily.
So in FP3, there were a lot of fires. It was a very lit session. There was a fire for Gasly because of overheating, and the reason was a failed heat shield. So his fire was under the engine cover, and Mick Schumacher had a rear brake fire, right or left, I don't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, his car at the back got a damage also.
Yeah, also very hot track. Like this was a very hot race.
Yeah.
Like all 3 days, I think. Yeah, I think now all the drivers would start caring about global warming because...
Yeah, generally now Spanish and Austria are the hottest European races, I guess, on the calendar.
Now I'm waiting for people to call the other drivers also fake, because they call Hamilton fake every time he brings this issue.
Not much else happened in practice. Charles, I think, topped all 3 practice sessions, and now we move to qualifying. So qualifying, fairly okay qualifying. There was no visible improvement in the Green Bulls.
The Green Bulls.
So if you think about it, if the Green Bulls use the things properly, they have Mercedes car engine with Bulls car design. They should be the most feared car on the track.
Have you ever heard the Hindi idiom, nakal mein bhi akal ki zarurat padti hai?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they had figured it out.
Yeah.
if
If anything, I just believe that this is going to make it more clear to Lawrence Stroll that he needs to sell the team to Audi. He's going to make it happen. Please make it happen, Lawrence Stroll. They tried pink Mercedes, it did not work. They had one race win for Checo and 2 or 3 podiums for Stroll. Other than that, there were some points here and there. And now they've
No. It worked. Pink Mercedes worked. I mean, they were close to finishing P3 in the Constructor Championship.
Okay. So, but the Green Bull did not work.
Definitely.
The Green Bull is not working.
All right. Okay.
But was the qualifying exciting? Because I missed it, and today I was watching the replay of the qualifying and I stepped through it.
Quali was a little exciting. Like it had some sparks, but I won't call it by some maja hi aa gaya. It was not that. It was.
I wouldn't call it exciting. Only the end of Q2, I think Norris made it to Q3,
the Norris
but his lap time was deleted.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the Norris thing hurt a little.
If you've seen that replay, it seems a bit harsh. But my gripe with the TV direction is that they only showed that one angle of Norris going off the track. Okay. So what they showed was the cam that is on the car. Obviously, you can't make a judgment as to, like, we as viewers can't make a judgment as to whether or not the car left the track or not. I'm not saying that it did not and they wrongly deleted his lap time. I'm just saying that there was no other camera angle shown, which just seems fishy to me. Like, I'm like, why not? Just show one more camera angle that gives a much more clearer view as to where he exceeded the track limit. Because from the view that they telecasted from the car, it's very like touch and go. I was like, okay, I waited that they might show a different camera angle, but they did not. And it's not like they did not have the time. So
yeah, even in the race also, when Max was trying to overtake Russell into turn 1, you remember that?
Yeah.
So there also, they were showing the onboard of Max diving into the corner, and suddenly they switched to this weird camera angle, and they could have shown the heli shots actually there.
Yeah. And another thing about qualifying that happened was Lewis in his post-session interview said that people did not stick to Delta. And I did some heavy research on that. And brace yourselves, guys. It's not going to be a rant or anything. I'm just going to say what I researched. So the race directors after FP1 give a time that all drivers have to follow between safety car line 1 and safety car line 2. Now, safety car line 1 is just after the pit exit when you're going on the track, and it's just before the pit entry when you come into the pits. So in that length of the track, there is a certain duration of time, and you can't be slower than that, because then that's like unnecessarily driving slow on an outlap, right? So I replayed those timings, and there is truth to that. Of course, Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher were summoned by the stewards for this particular offense, and here is what the verdict is. So they both have been given a warning, and you have to listen to this reason because it's mind-blowing. Okay. The stewards heard from the driver of car 20, Kevin Magnussen, and the driver of car 47, Mick Schumacher, and team representatives examined video, timing, and positioning data. During the qualifying practice, there were 55 violations by 18 drivers of the race director's event notes, 0.4. 0.4 was the time that they have given. and that they have to keep the delta positive. Regarding minimum time between SC1 and SC2, that's safety car line 1, safety car line 2, the stewards reviewed each case, and the majority of cases were a result of drivers following another driver who was also on an outlap, and as each driver attempted to create a gap to the preceding driver, they went successively slower until a train of drivers exceeded the minimum time. However, on the 5 occasions when these trains developed during the outlaps of qualifying, the driver of car 47, Mick Schumacher, and the driver of car 20, Kevin Magnussen, were the first or nearly the first out of the pits due to their garage location, and so were able to control their speed without having to be concerned about cars in front of them. Further, the stewards found that generally the cars that failed to follow the race director's event note were following these 2 cars. The procedure required by the note is relatively new and was introduced during this season and has not involved a penalty up to this point. However, for the reasons above, the stewards determined that these drivers' failure to follow the instruction was more under their control than any other drivers. As the procedure is new and in view of the fact that other drivers did violate the instruction, but not to this degree, the stewards issue a warning to the drivers concerned. The stewards note that further violations may incur increased penalties, not only for these drivers, but for any competitor competing a similar breach in the future. All I would say is 2 things. One, in the Q3 last couple of minutes, Carlos Sainz was behind both the Haas's, he overtook them. Second, Lewis Hamilton was also behind both the Haas's and he stuck to the delta.
Oh.
That is all I'm going to say.
But then, okay, if as far as I remember, when the drivers have to be in delta, they cannot overtake the cars, right? During the delta.
No, there's nothing like that because
see, during the virtual safety car, they have to switch delta on, na?
Yeah, but this is I'm talking about qualifying. Qualifying, I don't think there is a rule that you can't overtake the car in front of you. Is there, Hanivaja?
No. You can.
You can overtake.
But then with delta
Carlos Sainz did. Carlos did.
But my point is, with delta, can you overtake? Is my question.
With delta, see, you have to maintain a time in that length of the track, right? You have to be quicker than that. You can't be slower than that. If there is a car in front of you that is going unnecessarily slow, you have the option to overtake it to make sure that you don't violate the delta rule. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
This is all I'll say. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. No more rants.
No more rants. Just going to either rank how good or bad FIA was, or I'm not going to say anything. No more rants.
We'll let listeners decide then.
Yeah, and the reason I will not say a lot more is because in the live timings that I had in the outlaps, I would only get sector 2 and sector 3 times. Now the first safety car line on pit exit is little into sector 1, so that's 5-6 seconds off, and then before the pit exit, that's gonna shave off some 7-8 seconds. So I can't make a reasonable estimation as to who all stuck to the delta because there is no information that is available to me. So that's why I'm going to reserve any comments on that. But this is where we stand, and I think going forward they are going to make, that's what it seemed from the reason that they've given, that there is going to be a lot more scrutiny as to whether these timings are being followed by the drivers or not in an outlap. And maybe we will start seeing some penalties because of it. The point that Lewis made in the conference was that because these drivers were going slow, they were able to get more temperatures into their tires and they did not have to struggle a lot. And particularly, he talked about Perez and Russell, which is ouch.
Okay. If somebody is, that's okay, I guess, even if he's speaking against Russell.
Yeah.
Because the same rules apply for all the drivers.
Yeah,
no matter if he is your teammate or not. So
yeah,
okay.
But the reason I say this is because in qualifying, we got an amazing radio from Lewis Hamilton, where he's, I think in sector 3, just finishing his outlap, and he asks Bono, whether the sectors he gave are they fastest or two. Two meaning they belong to one particular driver rather than the fastest. So Bono replies that they are George's sector times. And Lewis says, I only ever want to know the fastest ones.
Yep.
Yep. The 7-time world champion, guys, only wants to know the fastest ones.
He doesn't care about anyone else.
Sure. I mean, I see his point, and I won't say that there is a rivalry starting between George
No. Please, if
Lewis.
Netflix, you are listening, first of all, thank you for listening. Secondly, please don't start that.
How can you not see this episode? Like, I can very well tell you, this is second episode. This is going to be
If they want an episode, then there was a really nice radio message in the end of the race. Have an episode on that.
I did not hear that. What was the radio message?
We will have to talk on it.
Oh, okay. We are coming to that. We'll come to that.
Okay, we'll come to that. But I think that was it for qualifying also. It was largely an uneventful weekend.
I don't understand. How did Alonso, Alonso had the space then, pace. Why did he not qualify? I keep forgetting. How did he get out of Q1 only? Because
He
Alonso
had an engine problem,
space.
I guess.
I guess so. I don't remember. I also slept through qualifying. I don't know why.
Because for the race, he got a new engine and he was dropped to P20.
Yeah. They took a new engine because obviously Alonso has already used his 3 allotted ones. So he took a 3-place grid drop and got a new
How
engine.
are these drivers taking so many new engines? It's just a 5th race.
Yeah, it's concerning. And I mean, it is what it is. So anyways, let's come
Was it a namesake budget cap? I just want to understand, like, was it a namesake budget cap? Because this year there have been more upgrades, more engines, everything more.
I don't know. I will reserve my comments on that.
That's not our job, Shakuni. FIA has to look into it.
For my feelings on this, please listen to Spanish GP preview.
Why are we brainstorming on that still?
Not getting into it again. Like, I mean, I 100% agree with you, Shakuni, but like, it's not our job. It's FIA's job to ensure that the budget cap is being followed. And I'm sure they are doing a good job. I'm sure they're doing something that we don't see. I'm going to keep my thoughts very positive from now on. And there is no sarcasm.
Are you on drugs? Blink twice. Blink twice if you are on drugs.
I love this version of Mansi. Who is sarcastically taking a dig on FIA.
It's not sarcasm, I'm just positive vibes only.
Arey.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's come to the race. Anybody who thinks that this race was amazing compared to other Spanish GPs?
Compared to other Spanish GPs? Yeah. Compared to other Spanish GPs.
Because the standard is so low. Like, the last great Spanish GP I remember was 2012 when Lord Maldonado won.
Oh, that was amazing. And he also came today. He graced us with his presence.
He was in the Williams
paddock.
Yeah. And also celebrity spotted Roger Federer in the Mercedes garage. Which was
also, these Barcelona players came to AlphaTauri.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? I did not see that.
Yeah. Ousmane Dembele, Umtiti, Aubameyang, Depay, everyone. I think for the qualifying, they were in the AlphaTauri garage.
The last two names you said, I'll consider them Barca players.
No. Dembele played good, so.
Dembele, okay.
Not turning this into a football podcast. We will discuss football later. Not to discuss. Okay, coming to the race now. First lap, Charles had a decent start. Of course, Hamilton and K-Mag had a bit of an unfortunate touch, I would say. K-Mag went off. Lewis Hamilton had a slow puncture, and both of them had to pit to change their whatever needed changing. I think the tires for Lewis. And I think Magnussen had to get his wing also changed. I'm not sure. They did not show us. So
I have a feeling there was something engine related also fault with Magnussen, because There was no pace after the incident.
Maybe his car took some
beating, maybe.
Some damage, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Ted Kravitz was in the pit lane when Lewis Hamilton came, and he said the same was true for Lewis's car as well.
I mean, we have seen Lewis's car in the past. Without a wing, also he'll win. Without a tire, also he'll win. So it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So
Charles had a good start, and Max had an equally good start. But the one who I was rooting for to have a good start fucked it up in the first lap itself, Mr. Carlos Sainz. Man, when will this pain end for me? Why can't the other Ferrari car be consistent? And today even the primary car also got DNF.
Yeah.
Can't take this anymore, man.
Ferrari doing
so the
Ferrari
turn four spin of Carlos and Max happened because of wind.
Tailwind, yeah.
Tailwind. I don't know what happened precisely, but I'm assuming that it had something to do with aero. Like, that's all I can think about. But gust of wind came and it fucked up the arrows or something like that. I don't know what exactly happened, but I would say this: Max controlled it much better than Carlos.
Yeah,
Carlos was saved because of the gravel. If it wasn't for the gravel, he would have gone straight into the barriers.
I think Ferrari fans would have accepted him going to the gravels rather than him going so behind.
I mean, all things considered, he had a decent race finish, but given what we've seen the other Ferrari do, he's really off. And
something is not right for him. Actually, I don't see, like, his head is not in the game. He is doing so many mistakes. Also,
for today, I want to excuse Sainz because it was mostly damage limitation.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame him too much today.
But he did not even defend. He did not even defend that well against Hamilton. Like, if you see the video, he did not defend that well. He just had that one nudge and then he let Hamilton go. It was not a proper Carlos Sainz defense that we always see him do. He's a really good defensive driver.
Correct, but there is no point in defending Hamilton also because he was on the fresher softs and he is clearly the fastest man on the track at that point. So
come on, Russell was blocking Verstappen on a really fresh tire.
No, but at that point of time, Lewis Hamilton was setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Like, that Mercedes was on a charge. I see Honey Badger's point.
But I still would have liked if he would have at least tried for at least one lap or at least one corner.
I mean, he tried, dude. He covered the inside line and that left a lot of room on the outside where Lewis being Lewis, he took Sainz from the outside only. So there is nothing much Sainz would have done there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nothing much happened. Can we just move on to constructors and drivers and we'll talk about their individual performance. The race in itself was pretty boring except some heartbreaks. Let's talk about the DNFs. Zoe DNF because of some engine problems, and the most heartbreaking DNF ever, Charles.
Everything no.
So well for Charles.
It's not the most heartbreaking. So the most heartbreaking DNF.
I mean, in this race, there were only two in this race.
In this race, I agree. But his Charles DNF that hurts me most is Bahrain 2019. He dominated the entire field like a boss. Hamilton was scared that day, that whole weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But disappointing result for Ferrari.
Charles and Ferrari. Yes. Could you please wrap it up soon and move on to the other topic?
Okay, let's move on to the construction. Anything else about the race that you want to talk about? Because let's talk about individual performances.
Yeah, individual performance.
Yeah. Race wise, I don't think there was much that happened.
I'll ask a question. Who is the driver of the weekend, considering everything?
Oh man, this is very difficult. To consider everything, I would say Russell.
Hamilton.
Even it's between Hamilton and Russell for me as well. So
exactly. So I wanted to answer in the same way. So if given a choice to pick only one, I would go with Russell, or else I would go with Russell and Hamilton both.
Minister of Defense for Britain now. My
Yeah.
God, what was that defense? Oh my God.
Oh, it
That
was
beautiful
so
man.
pure. Full marks for defense. Full marks for defense. Even like Perez was not able to go in the initial, like the first, what, 10 laps? Perez was also not able to overtake. I'm like, he has come to win today. Russell is not letting anyone pass.
I mean,
Is,
we could have seen a Mercedes 1-2 today. It was so close.
If it
yeah,
wasn't for
so
that
close.
unfortunate incident that happened in the first lap, and I think after that, Lewis on the radio said that I would rather save this engine, because he was, I think, very demotivated after what happened. But
Actually,
then,
that early accident helped him.
yeah, it did. I mean, in
Now if you
hindsight,
think
we
of-
can say that. But
You know,
I understand.
I always love Hamilton, who is out there for revenge. That Hamilton is one of the best Hamiltons. Like,
I would
there
call
is
it
some
vengeance, not revenge. But yeah.
vengeance. Okay, vengeance. Like,
Yeah.
anytime you give him a penalty before the race, some incident happens and he has to go on the back of the grid. He gets an in-race time penalty or something. That man comes out of the gates with such aggression. I love that Hamilton. He is one of the best.
The problem is, I would have wanted Mercedes to keep this momentum going, because I think it's very important for Lewis, but for him mentally. But the next race is Monaco, man. It's going to be all about
Monaco
qualifying.
hurt. Like,
this is something that I wanted to tell Honey Badger. This is my theory, okay? So 2020, I think 2020 we did not have a Monaco GP, but 2019 it was race 5 or race 6, and 2021 also it was race 6, I think. So I think that it's not Monaco curse. I think it is race 5, race 6 curse, which is done. Monaco is 7th race of the season. So I think Charles is going to do wonders.
He crashed the car with, like, on a non-race race.
His brake failed. That's not his fault. Anybody could have.
My point.
That's how curse works, Mansi. That's how curse works.
No.
He did not. So, see, even on the last year, he did not do anything. His engine stopped working while coming to the grid. He did not crash. His engine stopped.
Yeah, but I also think that he's allowed only one bad thing to happen in Monaco, and that is also done.
Okay, going by your theory, in 2018, Monaco was the 5th or 6th race.
Yeah.
You're saying in 2018
2019.
But 2018 also he crashed.
I'll just check 2018 calendar. Let me see what number 2018 F1 calendar.
I think, Australia, Bahrain, China, Azerbaijan, Spain, Monaco. Yeah, I think it's the 6th race.
6th race, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's race 5 or race 6 course. And Monaco this time is the 7th race.
See, if Charles finishes the race, I don't think Honey Badger gives a fuck about what position he finishes. It's just that he finished.
The course is
all I wanted to say is, Mansi, if your theory is correct and you're giving out all these theories, just don't give me that hope. Don't do that. Don't give me that hope.
But I really have this feeling that Charles,
I am mentally preparing myself for that Monaco disaster. I am expecting a Ferrari double DNF in Monaco. I am ready for it. I am ready for it now.
Oh
my God. Wow. Oh no.
I don't want to be disappointed on the weekend. And
do you know why I gave such a big reaction? Is because I was going to say the same thing. I was like, Honey Badger, I'm really sorry, but please, if you're preparing yourself, prepare for a double DNF.
I am preparing for that. I am preparing myself for that, for seeing that, for coping up with the fact that Ferrari might have a double DNF in Monaco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the thing is,
right, gloomy Gus's. I don't want to be around this negativity. This is the only reason I'm excited for Monaco, is because I think my theory is correct. I think the curse is not Monaco. I think the curse is race 5 or race 6. That's what I think. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the constructors and the drivers. Let's start with Red Bull. Let's talk about Red Bull.
I really liked Perez's race today. I am gutted why he did not win. I seriously wanted him to win. I'm not kidding. Because he was amazing. His
He
overtakes
deserved
were
the win
clean.
today.
Yeah, his overtakes were very clean. He had pace. He had everything. I am very gutted he did not win. But yeah, 1-2 for Red Bull.
See,
Great
what
result.
I'll say is that I know Max had his DRS problems and everything, and I would not say that Mercedes was that far off in pace from Red Bull. Okay, I would say, I mean, George did qualify ahead of Perez, so I would say they were evenly matched. But on the couple of laps that Max did have the DRS, he wasn't able to make it stick. Perez did it in his second try, I think.
Yeah. Perez,
So
so actually both the Max and Perez both had 2 goes of like what 5-7 laps each, and Perez was able to do it in his second try. Max failed in both of his tries.
yeah. So see, it would have still been a 1-2. I understand that the championship battle is obviously going to be between Max and Charles, but it was still a dick move.
Yeah, agreed. In my opinion also.
Like, it's a poor way for Max to pay him back for everything that he did for him last year. It's a very poor way. Like, it's one win. You're still getting 18 points, right? Had he gotten 18 points as opposed to the 25 that he got,
he would have been 1 point behind Leclerc.
Would have been just 1 point behind him. Just 1 point behind.
And the next race being Monaco.
I'm still going to go by my theory, but what I'm trying to say is that this is not that late into the season that every point matters.
Yeah.
And they also have to understand that now that they are starting to have these contract negotiations with Perez again, I think it would have helped Red Bull a lot if they just let Perez win this one. This was an unnecessary team order is what I'm going to say.
So even in the middle of the race, if you remember, Perez was screaming on the radio that asked Max to give me the space. I will overtake him. Yeah. I am faster. But still for like 7-8 laps, he was not given that green light. Max also did not let him pass. And my point was like, now when you are letting him pass, his tires are degraded. They are not fresh softs anymore. 8 laps is more than enough for the fresher softs to get old. Like
in that heat with high tire degradation, that's a lot for softs to. Yeah, it was I would say it was a dick move by Red Bull, and they do not deserve Checo.
My point is now no one can just point the finger at Mercedes is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like how like they always used to make it like if it would not have been for Bottas, Hamilton would not have won. In some races, agreed, wholeheartedly agreed. Bottas has been phenomenal, but they also have to take the point that Perez has also been very important for Max to win the race for the championship.
Yeah, I am heartbroken for Perez. Like, he did not. And he was right to say that we need to have a talk about this because it's not acceptable, man. He cannot always be a second driver, and Red Bull needs to stop treating him like that.
I think Perez has a character to do a Barrichello kind of thing.
Maybe.
You remember that race, right? It was in Hungary or Russia. It was in Hungary only, I guess. So Barrichello was asked to give the place to Michael. And he was continuously being told on the radio, you need to give the place, and Barrichello just didn't care and he drove, and on the last lap after the last corner he just slowed down and let Schumi win.
Kind of like how Bottas did last year, right? When the Bottas, please don't go for the fastest lap, and Bottas was like, fuck it. And then he had one of the most ridiculous fastest lap of all.
Yeah. So that these kind of things, at least you will have the respect among the
drivers,
F1 fans and F1 drivers.
So
if you
what
don't
I
have the,
feel
even if
is
you
that
don't have
now
the.
if this repeats, so like see, for example, Bottas for some reason was okay being the playing the second fiddle to Hamilton, right?
He
He
was
was
never
okay with that.
okay, but he knew that was his role. And also, he was not that close to Hamilton pace wise.
Dude,
Yeah.
he
So
knows
what I'm
everything.
saying is that he knew what his role was, is what I'm saying. He knew what his role was
Ah,
in
but
Mercedes, and he was okay with playing that role as
Bottas
long
is
as he
smart,
did.
dude, because he wanted to get into a championship winning car to
Yeah.
maybe try out, and maybe he has a chance to win the championship. So it's a dream for every driver, right? So when you're
Hmm.
invited into Mercedes, even though you're beside Hamilton, you never know. Hamilton might have a one season off, and you might
Hmm.
have chance to win the championship. So that's what Bottas was thinking when he was in the Mercedes all throughout. But Hamilton, being Hamilton, he never gave up, and he completely fucked up Bottas' career, and which made Bottas to get frustrated and go to other team. So that's what happened.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
what I'm saying is that Bottas was at least okay with that. In the
yeah,
case
he
with
was
Sergio,
completely.
Sergio always races to win. Sergio has
Hmm.
that winning mentality and that winning mindset. Even in Force India, he did not let Ocon even move a little also. Like if you
Hmm.
remember,
Hmm.
Ocon
Hmm.
was pushing so hard, but Sergio was not letting him pass.
Yeah, yeah,
Sergio has that winning mentality, and if you will push him to play the second fiddle, you need to at least clarify that with him.
yeah.
Not in the mid race, but like beforehand only, you need to clarify that, bro. We want Max to win it again.
I
So
think Checo has made it very clear that last year he was in the team to help Max win the
Help Max, and
championship.
this year he's going for championship.
This
Yeah.
year he's going for championship.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that is a clear case of mismatched expectations. And my point is that if Checo decides to not renew his contract, first, where will he go? It's his perpetual problem.
It doesn't matter
Second,
wherever he goes. I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
wherever he goes, he will provide good results. I
Ah,
don't have any doubt with Checo.
in the sense that there are not, I don't see a lot of changes happening. Like we've already done this, right? Where do we see the 2023 grid? I I don't think if Checo decides to leave, Red Bull has a good second driver.
Tsunoda.
Yuki maybe, but I
Yeah.
think Yuki still needs to have some time in that Alpha Tauri. You look at all the rookies that have come against Max. Max's first teammate was Daniel Ricciardo. Pretty much 3 seasons they were together. 2 seasons Danny outperformed him, and third year Daniel Ricciardo was like, I think it could have been more to do with the fact that he announced that he's going to Renault, but I have not
Hmm.
seen the season, so I don't know. You guys might be much more privy to that season and what actually happened. My understanding is that after he announced that he was going to go to Renault, Red Bull started favoring Max. Not that they were not doing it before, but then it became much more obvious, I guess. But whatever. But after that, Gasly has come, not done well against him. Albon has come, not done well against him. They have had a good, decent second driver after Checo came into that team. So I I don't want Yuki to have I'm not saying that it's necessarily that he's going to have a similar performance, but like what I'm trying to say is that it's been 0 for 2 for rookies against Max Verstappen is what I'm trying to say.
yep.
So they should not be pissing off Checo like this. Would have
Hmm.
been it wouldn't have been a big deal. Imagine letting him win this one and then Checo would have been like, okay, at least they respected that. And we've seen like even in qualifying, you see Max usually outperforms Perez, and I think today the large reason why he was off was because of his DRS.
Yeah.
Like that DRS was powerful. Like, there's no denying that. So
But no, even with DRS, he was not able to overtake Charles and Russell. Even with DRS, he tried multiple times. He was not able to do that.
yeah,
So I will
that's what
not
I'm.
say that it's all DRS's fault. I think today the way Perez was driving was something amazing.
Yeah, and they should have let Checo win. Anyways,
There are 4 clear winners, dude. Leclerc, Perez, and Hamilton and Russell deserved
yeah,
winners today.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If only that crash had that contact in the first lap hadn't happened, man, it
Oh,
would have been a much more exciting race because
I am
Hamilton would have been
literally
in the play.
thinking that, like, since the end of the race, that's the only thing that I'm thinking. What would have happened if the crash would not have happened? Because this man was on something crazy today. He was having such a good race.
Okay, coming to
Hmm.
Mercedes now.
Both the drivers won the heart today. Both the
Yep.
drivers. Like, not
Yes.
like I'm a Mercedes fan, but still today was phenomenal. Both the drivers were amazing.
A much needed good day for Mercedes. Unfortunate what happened in the last couple of
Yes.
laps, but I mean, George was able to retain his position because he had a much more comfortable lead than what Lewis did
Lewis,
against
yeah.
Carlos. Bit unfortunate. It's Australia 2022 all over again, right? Even that time they could not go for higher positions because their engine was overheating. So not an end for problems for Mercedes, but I think good steps in the right direction.
Big positives.
Yes. It was something that, and even I think in the press conference, when the journalists were asking Russell, he said that we were P1 and P2 and Miami free practice 2, and then Saturday, Sunday, there was no pace. So they were all very skeptical, but they were able to carry forward that momentum to till the race on Sunday. So yeah, I would say good result for Mercedes. And I think if they just sort out this engine heating problem, I don't know if it was. I mean, sure they were pushing and everything, but could have also been made worse because of just the track temperature and everything. It was a hot race, so
It was a very hot race. So,
yeah.
3 pit stops, enough said.
Three
oh,
pit
yeah.
stops, yeah. Did not expect. I mean, I expected it when they pitted for the first time, because I was like, no
Yeah.
way these set of tires are going to last till the third,
Yep.
till the end of the race for 50 laps.
Oh, also, we forgot. Russell is coming top 5 in almost all the races this year.
Every race, Max winning all the races he has finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that also.
Did Red Bull let Max win and ask Checo to give the place back to just keep the streak going? Because then again, it's a much more bigger dick move. Just saying.
If that is the reason, then I have another, like, hatred Max Pro now for Red Bull. If that is the stupid reason they have.
See, team orders and everything, but I again, there is the reason I don't like Max a lot is there is not a lot of sense of sportsmanship in that guy. I would just say that. There's not a decent driver would have let Checo take the win. Okay, let's come to McLaren. The fuck happened to McLaren?
I didn't see them also today.
Yeah, because they were not doing anything. There was just there was no pace, and I mean, as heartbreaking as it is, guys, there is a chance Ricardo's last season might be the next season. Like, he is just not able to do anything in that McLaren. And sure, we can say McLaren does not have pace, blah blah blah, but he's not matching Norris at all. He's a second off in lap times against Norris. Now there is no excuse. As much as I love Daniel Ricciardo, now there is no excuse.
At least Norris today did something, right? Norris finished in top 10, if I'm not wrong.
No, but like 8th.
Yeah, I get it. But, like, so the thing is that, so, okay, I have seen this with Norris and Ricardo both. If in the initial first half of the race, if they are not able to get into that top 4, top 5 positions, they just maintain the position. This happened with Bottas as well, if you remember. Honey Badger would be like, you can remember races, Honey Badger, where Bottas outside of top 5 will not do anything. He'll just maintain track position. But these guys in top 5, they are another level beasts. Like, Bottas would have been in top 5, he would defend like a boss. he would, he would do everything. But if he outside of that top 5 position, he will not do anything. He'll just let someone pass. If he thinks that he can regain it in the future, he'll just try to hold the position. That's it.
A best example would be Monza race. I think 2021 only. He dropped to ninth from second during the
Yes,
start.
yes. And then he did not do anything.
Anything. He let the McLarens win.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
he finished on the podium eventually, right?
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, that was because of this crash and the safety car.
Two people crashed. That's it.
Bro, Kimi was running P4, bro. After that red flag, I guess.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. After the Hamilton Verstappen crash, like after the safety car, he utilized the safety car the best. Him and Kimi. But he did not overtake, is what I'm saying. He doesn't do anything.
No. He didn't finish P4. He was running in P4.
He would have been running in P4, but I will tell you this right now that Bottas finished on the podium.
Okay.
Bottas had a amazing comeback from that 9th position.
That was not amazing.
It's called a safety.
As far as I remember. I mean, he didn't overtake. He didn't do like crazy things to get to podium.
What are you saying? He had battles with Charles and Perez for that last podium spot.
But because that's top 5, right? Why are you not listening? So what I'm saying is, if Bottas is in top 5, he races to win. If he is outside of top 5, he just holds the position.
Yeah, what I'm saying is 9th to 5th, he made those positions because
guys, I think I'm mixing up both the GPs. I think I'm mixing up both the 2020 and 2021 stories together. I'm not sure. I'm confused now. Which one is which? But
Bottas did have a good comeback when he dropped back to 9th. He did a good recovery drive. Sure, Hamilton and Max crashed out, but like you can't anyways overtake under safety car. Sure, it resets the grid, but I don't think Bottas was at any point of time so far off that he would have gained a sizable advantage. Of course, he would have gained a couple of seconds, but that's the virtue of the safety car. That happens to every driver. So it wasn't just that it benefited Bottas, right? Anybody who was behind Bottas also was right behind Bottas. So as far as the strategy is concerned, it's a shitty strategy. Okay? Not making up places. Because if McLaren still wants to remain 4th in the constructors, they still need to pick up points because the others behind them are picking up points.
Yep.
Like Alfa Romeo is 39, 11 points behind McLaren.
Alfa is consistently picking up points every race weekend.
And I mean, granted, it's only Bottas, but even for McLaren, it's only Norris right now.
Yeah. And Bottas is grabbing good chunk of points and Norris is finishing in 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10. Anyways, we've talked about McLaren. Let's go to Alpine. Decent race, I would say.
Yeah.
Both drivers picked up points.
Decent.
I still think that Alpine is okay, man. What else?
So I am happy for Alonso. P20 to P9, great race.
Yeah.
But then that's about it. I did not see much from Ocon also.
No, Ocon was on charge.
Ocon was on charge. Oh my god, Ocon was like picking cars off one by one like crazy. I don't know what happened to him, but Ocon was on a crazy charge in the start of the race.
Starting 6-7 laps.
Oh, sorry. No, actually, I mixed Ocon with Stroll. So that's why I was like,
how dare you? How dare you?
See, I am sleepy. It's way past my bedtime.
Oh, you sound like an old man. Anyways, yeah.
Ocon
was on a charge. I don't know what happened, but I think he could have finished. I don't think he could have finished any higher. But that car is on its potential, man. I don't think there is much more that can be extracted from that Alpine unless there is a crazy race where all top 4 are not there. Like
no, I see at least 2 podiums, like any number, but at least 2 podiums.
Let's talk about the Green Bulls. Aston Martin,
Stroll had a contact with?
It was with Gasly.
Gasly, yeah.
Oh,
Gasly.
yes.
After the turn 1.
Yeah.
Gasly was also nowhere seen. Tsunoda was nowhere seen in the race.
AlphaTauri also not having a good season, man.
I think from the next time we can skip talking about Aston Martin.
Very happy to. Okay, what other constructor? Any other constructor that you want to talk about? Haas again, dude. I think Haas needs to bring in their upgrades. They are just letting races go by where they're just not making any impact. Nothing in Miami.
Even wake Mick Schumacher up. If you have done such good qualifying, please don't ruin your race.
Did Mick do something very crazy to ruin his race? I think that Haas just does not have the pace now.
Yeah. No. He also was not defending or anything. He was just like, if you want to go, go.
There was no footage also, right?
There was no footage. That's the thing. Like, we did not see. I mean, for the first time, I would say that the TV direction was good because they at least consistently showed us the Russell Max battle and everything.
So that's what I'm saying. The battles at the top were interesting this time, so they least cared about the midfield.
Yeah, but like at least show it in the mini window, like how they show the pit stop and everything. No, show that at least, because then otherwise there's just no way to know. So it's sad, but like I mean, again, I don't know how Schumacher did. Like, so
no evidence.
So I don't know. But Haas, it is time to bring those upgrades, please.
If you have them, like, if they have lost, who knows?
I appreciate Gunther's optimism, but see, they are doing very well in qualifying. They don't have the long distance pace. Like, they're just not able to keep up with the other teams. And I don't know why. I mean, sure, he's thinking that they've not tapped, quote unquote, the entire potential of that car, but maybe it's time to accept that there might not be any more potential left in that car. It need to bring upgrades. It could also be that because Bahrain was such a good start for Haas, and we had so many teams that were struggling, like there was a double Red Bull DNF, and Gasly was out because of fire. I think that was one of the reasons that K-Mag finished in top 5. But then after that, all the teams have brought upgrades. They've improved on their reliability, and now they are finishing the races, and that's why we've not seen Haas score many more points. I'm not saying that car does not have pace, but like other teams who did not have as much pace as Haas did are improving their pace. So I don't know what Haas is waiting for, but they are going to ruin their season. Right now, they are 8th in the Constructor Championship with 15 points, 2 points behind Alpha Tauri.
There are reports that Gunter has warned Mick that if you don't perform well, there are lots of drivers who want your seat.
Fair enough.
See, I understand Miami was his mistake. Miami was definitely his mistake, but at least in Spain also. No, he finished ahead of K-Mac this race.
Oh, I mean, this race. I'm talking about like a proper race where K-Mag is not involved in anything.
What is, why is this coming with an asterisk sign? What is this asterisk sign?
Yeah, because like that man had a broken engine. Like he was not racing properly.
I mean, then I can also say that you cannot count Saudi because the man did not even race in that race.
Okay, won't count.
That's not how it works. But I think he has out-qualified him in Australia as well. I would not say he's performing bad, but like he's looking bad because he does not have points. But like, bring in the upgrades, man.
No, wait. First of all, repair that car. They have had DNFs in almost every race.
Yeah, even with his brake fire and everything, like
it
took them a while to put that DNF. Fire out. The point is that car needs upgrades, but I think that Mick is improving gradually. Then give him a good car. I'd say there has to be effort put in from both the sides. It's high time that Haas got their upgrades. The other cars are really going ahead of them. Williams was nowhere, but Latifi beat Albon today, so that's a first.
Did he?
Yeah. Still wouldn't call it one of the best races or whatever. It was more emotional trauma for me than enjoyment. The only thing I did enjoy was Mercedes and Ocon charging through the pack. That's the only thing I enjoyed. But heartbreak for Charles, heartbreak for Perez, heartbreak for Lewis also.
The only people who are satisfied with this race are Red Bull fans. That's it.
Yeah.
For everyone else,
No,
it's emotional trauma.
to be very honest, I would be very scared if I'm a Red Bull fan right now because of Perez was not happy at all. I have never seen him this angry on a radio.
I don't think I've ever seen Perez angry. Okay, when have you seen Perez this angry?
Perez was during his Force India and Racing Point days when there would be some strategic fuck up. Yeah, he's an angry person, but very like limited times on radio.
Yeah, not easily angered, but when he is,
Yeah.
he is. Okay, then predictions. Kramer predicted Max, Charles, and Ocon. Kramer is the one who is manifesting these Max Verstappen wins. Should not be allowed to make any predictions anymore. Then he said Lando beat Danny Rick, which happened. And he said at least 3 DNFs, which did not happen. And Mick reaches Q3. So he gets 4 points. Congratulations,
Wow.
Kramer. You're
Very
catching
nice.
up to us. Shakuni, you predicted Charles Max Sainz.
Mm-hmm.
This prediction thing is going to be another heartbreak. Fastest lap to Charles. Then you said Vettel in points. You said one Alpha Tauri in points, and you said both Spanish drivers in points. So 2 points for those Alpha Tauri and Spanish drivers. So you scored 2 points. Honey Badger, you said all the things you said did not come true. You said Sainz, Charles, Perez, fastest lap to Charles, one Haas in top 10, one Aston Martin DNF, and Ricardo beats Norris. So unfortunately, don't get any
0
points. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I DNF'd along with Charles this weekend.
yeah, you
You
Was it
placed
up?
all your bets on Charles.
yeah. I predicted Charles, Max, Perez, fastest lap to Max. I said both McLaren in points. Mick beats K-Mag and at least 2 DNFs. Mick did beat K-Mag, so I get 2 points. Yay! Yay! I'm so happy. So the prediction league standings are:
yes.
I am on 16. Honey Badger is on 15. Shakuni, you are also on 16, and Kramer is on 12.
Ooh.
We are tied in the first place.
Ooh, the league is getting saucy.
Yeah.
Next time, write one prediction. Charles finishes Monaco for the first time in his career.
If that comes true, I should get an extra bonus point because you guys have been such gloomy people about that. If Charles finishes,
I am always worried if Charles drives on Monaco roads when he's home not racing. Does he crash then also?
No, I have evidence, so he doesn't crash. My next week's one of my predictions is 6.
Double Ferrari DNF.
Double Ferrari DNF.
I'm telling you, you're not getting any points for that.
I'm happy then.
Yeah.
Either ways, I'm happy.
That was it. Thank you everybody for joining and making this happen at 1:00 at night. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of Over the Curb. If you like the episode, please share it with other people who you think might enjoy this podcast. Subscribe to the podcast, click on the notification bell so that you know when we release a new episode. If you have any feedback for us, or if you want us to cover anything, or if you want to be part of the podcast, please write to us at overthecurbpodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on Instagram at Over the Curb Podcast or on Twitter at Over the Curb Pod. Until next weekend, Monaco.
Is it next week?
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And Charles, drive safe.